There was a study that came out several months ago that made waves within the gaming industry, or at least in the media surrounding video games, because it pointed out that despite what a lot of people within the industry are insisting, female gamers actually prefer to play as female characters that are more attractive looking versus what we've seen come out of a lot of Western devs within the past several years, where it seems like there has been a concerted effort to make female characters more ugly in games. Now, we don't know why that's the case. My personal opinion is I think maybe they felt like it was less threatening to female gamers. They're like, okay, we want to appeal to this demographic, so we don't want them to feel, I don't know, insecure about how attractive the characters are that they're playing as. So we're going to try to make it represent them. That one take on it, I suppose. I don't think it's a real good version or a really good thing to try to go about doing, but maybe that's what they're doing. Other people are saying that they're maybe trying to blur the lines between what it looks like to be a female versus a male in order to try to appease a lot of the androgynous or transitioned people working at these studios now. So instead of these trans women or men becoming women that still look very masculine, maybe they're trying to make female characters in games that better represents them. And this is something that's been pretty obvious for people paying attention, in that how the female characters haven't been looking that good, especially, like I said, coming out of Western developers. You can see images like this going around online where you can see the motion capture actress for the game compared to what the results look like in the game. And it's a pretty stark difference, where usually the actresses look good, but the characters that they play, not so much. Compare that to Eastern developers, where they actually have pretty spot on likenesses on that, or at least it's not overtly uglified. Now, I know some people are going to try to criticize this, like, oh, why do the female characters need to look attractive in games? It's like, I know there's like those gooner type people out there who get off to this sort of thing, and that is a little weird. But for me, it's more or less just the same as, like, if I wanted to have a good looking environments, I don't want to play a game where the environments are just ugly, or everything, or the aesthetic of the game is just ugly. I want it to look good looking all around. I want it to be pleasant to look at, and stuff like what we're seeing here is just kind of unappealing to look at. And that's why I personally don't like it. And I think a lot of people, or at least a lot more people, probably fit into that camp. And we've seen people essentially voting with their wallets for the last couple of years, where a lot of game studios that have been pushing this sort of thing have understood that people aren't buying it if the characters are overtly ugly. So maybe we should kind of backtrack a little bit and make the female characters a little bit more attractive, or at least less unappealing, in order to try to get people to actually buy the games. And it seems like some studios are starting to backpedal on this one. We saw this going around on social media, because when Witcher 4 first was announced, one of the criticisms for it was that Ciri looks a lot more masculine in with the first trailer for it compared to what she looked like in previous games. And it seems now that they've released new images of it, and Ciri seems to be a lot more feminized in this new version compared to the previous one. Now, I don't think this is necessarily the worst image. I mean, she doesn't look great there, but it's not also the worst thing ever compared to some of these other ones that we saw. But still, I can understand the criticism for that. But here's the big one right here, because apparently for Fable, they announced that they're going to be delaying it. It's supposed to be released this year, but now it's going to be released next year. And in some of the images that they've released for it, a lot of people notice that the female lead for it actually looks a lot better compared to what she looked like in the first trailer. Because this is an image from the first trailer, and you can see that does not look good compared to this one. Now, it looks like it's the same character, but there's just something about this one that's a lot better. I'm not the best at this sort of thing, so I can't quite articulate it, but I just say, like, her jawline doesn't look as masculine here compared to this one. There's something with the eyes on it, and maybe this is just a bad image or a bad screen grab. She always looked like this, but the way they took the way it looked in the trailer just didn't work out with the expression she has on her face. That's possible, but it really does feel like they were trying to backpedal and like, okay, well, we need to make the character look a little bit more attractive. So to change out the models, that'll take some time. So that's why they're delaying it. We don't know that's the case. They never actually said that's why they're doing it. They just said they're trying to do their best work possible on it. And that's the only information we're getting. I don't think they're ever going to come out and say, yes, the character was ugly, so we're trying to make her look better for audiences. But a lot of people are saying that's looks like what they're doing. So during the announcement, when they said that they're going to be pushing it back for a year, they also released this video. So I'll play a little bit of that for you in case you wanted to see it or you haven't seen it yourself. And honestly, looking at this, it doesn't look bad. Like I said, it's all about even the environments. Everything just needs to look pleasant all around, or at least if something's supposed to look unappealing, that it's supposed to look unappealing for a good reason. Like if it's an enemy or something like that, you want it to look unappealing, or if it's supposed to be a scary environment or something like that, it has to match it. But if you're supposed to have a protagonist that you identify with or that you like and they just look unappealing, well, then that's a problem right there. So it really does seem like that's kind of what they're doing when it comes to this sort of thing. While nothing has been officially confirmed, Fable has drawn significant criticism over its apparent move away from a key franchise feature, the ability to choose between playing as a male or female protagonist. Yeah, that is an issue with this. I will give them that much. All the gameplay footage released so far features the same female lead, sparking speculations that the customization options may be more limited than in past entries. Additionally, the main character showcased in trailers has been widely criticized for lacking the charm and aesthetic appeal many associate with the Fable series. She's ugly. Yeah, and it seems like they've kind of fixed that, at least in this latest version right here. This aligns with the growing trend in Western AAA gaming, where major studios have been accused of prioritizing ideology over consumer preference in character design. Female protagonists in recent titles have consistently been given more masculine features, a shift that has not gone unnoticed by longtime gamers. Examples include Kay Voss in Star Wars Outlaws, Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man 2, and Aloy in Horizon Forbidden West. All characters have received similar critique for their noticeably altered appearance compared to the past industry standards. And those ones are pretty prominent because they say they were just getting scans from the actress who did the motion capture work and stuff for like that for it. And the actresses for those roles look considerably better than the final results in the game. And they were trying to say like, oh, it's because of limitations in the facial scan technology. That's it. That's why they don't look as good. But just going back to this image, you can see that's not the case because you can actually have the scanned image look like the actress for it. So it really them just trying to do something different. Alongside the announcement that Fable had been delayed, Microsoft released approximately 50 seconds of new Fable footage. Okay, so we already talked about that. First announced in 2020, Fable was positioned as a new beginning for the franchise, yet details remain sparse even 4 years later. While Xbox executives continue to insist that the game is in good hands, this delay, coupled with the mounting concerns over the creative choices being made, does little to assure longtime fans. Fable was once a franchise known for its player freedom, witty dialogue, and a unique blend of humor and adventure. The question now is whether Playground Games will honor that legacy or steer it in the direction that alienates its original audience. Yeah, we will have to wait and see about all this. But I would prefer if they were just to have pre-built characters that they are better looking. I think there should just be a male-female option. If they are just going to do a female character as the lead for it and there's no options for customization, all right, that's not great. But I could still get on board with it so long as the game is good. If there, for story reasons it matters, then okay. But I mean, it does seem like it is a deviation from past Fable games if that's the route they're going with this. But it does feel like with this latest version of it that they are at the very least trying to listen to fans who are critical over the initial trailer of it. Like I said, though, earlier, we don't know if they actually are doing anything with this. This could have just been a bad screen grab for it, and the character looked like this the whole time. But it really does seem like they are trying to go back and at least make her look less ugly than what we initially saw. And if that's the one thing that they're doing, or one avenue that they're listening to the fan base on, then I'd say that's a step in the right direction. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.